All right, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and begin. Thank you for being here. For those of you who are tuning in, um, let me begin by saying that 2 weeks ago, I stood before the people of San Diego and introduced an ordinance to fully repeal paid parking at Balboa Park. I did so because I believe deeply and unequivocally that paid parking in Balboa Park is the wrong direction for our city. I still believe that today. I believe that Balboa Park was never meant to be gated, to be a paywall. I believe it was designed as a public commons, a place where families, seniors, students, veterans, artists, and visitors could gather without having to calculate whether they could afford to park. And I believe the rollout of paid parking in Balboa Park has confirmed what so many residents warned the city about, that it would be confusing, exclusionary, and damaging to public trust. We've seen broken meters. We've seen unclear signage. We've seen inconsistent enforcement. We've seen residents charged fees that they didn't understand or couldn't avoid. And we've seen cultural institutions and museums report, even just yesterday, declining attendance. So let me be clear from the outset. My position has not changed. I still believe a full repeal of paid parking at Balboa Park is the right long-term policy for San Diego. And so does my dog Phoenix believe the same. And that's why I was the only one to propose a solution, a full repeal of paid parking ordinance. But governing responsibly also means recognizing where we are, not just where we want to be. And that's why I'm here today. Today I'm announcing a targeted, immediate, and achievable step forward, an ordinance to establish free public parking at Balboa Park on Sundays. An ordinance or a ballot proposal. And the scheduling of this proposal is coming before the San Diego City Council's Rules Committee on January 28th. This ordinance was not drafted overnight. It was not a reaction to the headlines from last week or yesterday. It was crafted last October by my office of the San Diego Public Advocate in direct response to the City Council's decision to move forward with paid parking system at Balboa Park. At that time, many of us raised concerns. We warned that the implementation would be difficult. We warned that equity would suffer. We warned that access would be restricted. And we warned that the city was moving too fast without adequate safeguards. We warned of the declining economic mobility of Balboa Park. The Free Parking Sundays proposal was written as a measured response, a policy designed to protect access while preserving stability. It recognizes the reality that paid parking is now in effect, while also insisting that the public deserves some relief. Let's talk about why Sunday matters. Sunday is the most universally accessible day of the week. It's the day when working families are off. It's the day when seniors plan outings. It's the day when children aren't in school. It's the day when community events, cultural gatherings, and family traditions happen here in Balboa Park. Across the country, cities understand this. Los Angeles offers free metered parking on Sundays in many districts. San Francisco, Portland, Phoenix. Also, and Denver provide free Sunday or weekend parking relief in civic and cultural zones. Washington, D.C. suspends meter enforcement on Sundays in many public corridors. These cities are not reckless. They are not fiscally irresponsible. They are pragmatic. They understand that one free day a week strengthens public life without collapsing municipal budgets. DCI, can you get my water, please? And here in San Diego, the fiscal argument against free parking Sundays simply doesn't hold up. City data shows that the cost of waiving parking fees one day per week represents a fraction of the Parks and Recreation budget, an amount that can be responsibly offset by weekday and event-based revenues. What we gain, however, is significant. We gain predictability. Families know there is one free day that they can visit the park without worrying about fees. We gain equity. Access to our most iconic public park should not depend on disposable income. We gain trust. At a moment when residents feel frustrated by parking meters, by broken meters, confusing systems, and poor communication, free parking Sundays is a tangible signal that the city is listening. And we gain participation. Museums will see more visitors. Public spaces will feel alive again. Balboa Park functions as the civic heart it was always meant to be. The ordinance proposed by my office does not dismantle the existing parking framework. It does not eliminate weekday revenue. It does not interfere with special event permitting or public safety. It does one thing, and it does it clearly. It restores one day a week when Balboa Park fully and freely belongs to the public. So, that is why the upcoming Rules Committee hearing on January 28th matters so much for San Diegans. This will be the first time Balboa Park appears on the City Council Committee agenda, or a council committee at all, or a council agenda, and that alone is significant since paid public parking took effect. It's the first opportunity for the council to publicly evaluate not just the theory of paid parking, but the lived reality of it. It is the first opportunity for residents to testify, cultural institutions to speak, and for data to be weighed against experience. And it is an opportunity to take a step, even if it's a modest one, toward restoring balance. Let me say this clearly to the City Council. Supporting free Sundays parking does not require abandoning paid parking entirely, although I do believe that's important. It requires acknowledging that course correction is a part of good governance. To the public, I say this ordinance is not the end of the conversation. It's the beginning of accountability. And to those who have supported my full proposed repeal of paid parking entirely, I want you to hear directly from me. This is not a retreat. This is a strategy. We cannot hold firm to our values while advancing practical solutions. We can hold firm to our values while advancing practical solutions. We can push for the ideal while delivering relief now. And we can insist that Balboa Park remains a place that reflects the best of San Diego, inclusive, welcoming, and shared. Today, I'm asking the City Council Rules Committee to take up this proposed ordinance on January 28th. I'm asking city staff to evaluate it honestly. And I'm asking the public to show up, speak out, and remind this city who Balboa Park is for. Because Balboa Park is for the people, not meters. It's a public promise. And free parking Sundays is a promise that we, as a city, can and should keep. So next Wednesday, January 28th at 9 a.m., I'm calling on San Diegans to show up at San Diego City Council because Balboa Park is on the agenda. And as my mama used to say, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Show up and be there January 28th and make your voice heard at 9 a.m. And thank you so much. I'll take any questions in response to this announcement that I'm making today pertaining to free Sunday parking at Balboa Park. Any questions? Thank you all for being here, and that concludes our news conference. January 28th, 9 a.m. at San Diego.